じゃあ行ってくれよ。
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some more Let's Read Higurashi. So, last time we had the baseball episode, and I've been enjoying these slice of life shenanigans, but I definitely feel like we can start moving towards, you know, the main crux of the story. I mean, all the characterization for Satoko has been wonderful, but I'm kind of want to get going into some of the creepier stuff. But we'll see. We'll see, right? I have no idea what awaits us today, but let's get going.
車に気をつけるのよ。晩ご飯までには帰ってらっしゃいね。
Yeah, after being attacked by a car in that previous episode, I don't trust the cars in town. Oh, right! Today was the day of the barbecue party that was the Hinamizawa Fighters' victory celebration. We're actually going to the barbecue. Aw, dude, after recording this, I might go for some grilled meat myself. Of course, having prepared myself, skip breakfast in order to stay hungry. That's the plan, man. That's what you do. When you know there's a good meal coming, you hold off so you can enjoy it to its fullest. Though, with all the club members coming, it was pretty possible there would be a contest based on how fast or how much you could eat. Oh, youth, when you can do that and not feel like you're gonna die. Brennan was already at our usual meeting place. Mion arrived a few minutes later.
よっしゃ。
Gunless. I miss it.
じゃあ早速行こうかね。おじさん朝ごはんを抜いてきたからお腹ペコペコ。
She knows the meta.
さすがだな。もちろん俺も朝食抜きで万全の体制だぜ。
二人とも朝食抜きは健康に良くないよ。
I don't care. I don't care. People always say skipping breakfast is bad. You know what else is bad? Having to work when your stomach hurts because you ate breakfast. Sometimes all you want is a coffee.
レナはちゃんと食べたんだよ。
そうかそうか。レナは偉いぞ。朝食は一日の基本だもんな。きっと成長途上なミオンを飛び越してナイスバデーになってグラビアを独り占めだ。
Buddy.
グラビアを独り占め。
I find that interesting. Translating Graver as dirty magazines. I mean, it's not wrong, but I feel like there's more, I don't know, nuance than just calling them dirty magazines. When you hear dirty magazines, you think Playboy. Like, Graver is not Playboy.
ナイスバデーになったら、レナのとこにも白馬の王子様とか来てくれるかな。
I think you can choose better words for that.
絶対来ないと思う。ケイちゃんも責任取れないならレナにいい加減なことは吹き込まないように。この子、明日から3食くらいまとめて朝食を取り出すかもしれないよ。
Yeah, I could see Rena doing that. Wait, who does gluttonous princess think was gonna come for her?
まあ、その話は置いといて。とにかく俺たちはいい感じで腹ペコだ。さっさと行って大バーベキュー大会としゃれ込もうぜ。
The venue for said barbecue was to be the Furude Shrine Grounds where Rika-chan lived. They held events and festivals there, and barbecues too. It was a place that had all sorts of ceremonies in Hinamizawa. Come to think of it, there was supposed to be a big village festival coming up. Okay, so it's still on the way. Watanagashi or something. The scenery you could see from that high up was fairly superb, and the calm atmosphere particular to shrines was something fairly difficult to find in the city. Yeah, I went to a couple of the shrines that were in Tokyo, and it doesn't have the same vibe, you know? It's cool, but it's not the same because there's still cars and traffic and stuff. We left our bicycles at the bottom of the shrine steps and broke into a mad dash up the stairs. When we arrived on the shrine grounds, the Hinamizawa fighters and their fathers had already gathered and begun setting up the barbecue early. Of course, Satsuko and Rika-chan were there as well. When they noticed our arrival, they waved to us.
ほら、忘れずにちゃんと来ましたわね。皆さんが来なければその分お肉が多く食べられましたのに。
You're gonna eat 3 slices. You're so small.
実に残念でございましたよ。
甘いぜサトコ。俺たちが来た以上、まさか霜降りが一口でも食べられるなんて思ってるんじゃないだろうな。
Marbled beef. Man, when that fat is just mixed right in, ooh, that's the good
いいぜ、
stuff.
ここで弁当を食った時を思い出せ。俺とサトコの致命的なリーチさで今回も圧倒してやるぜ。
なんですって？そんな の絶対に許せませんわ。
泣こうがわめこうが、サトコは目の前で牛肉を頬張るのを見るだけだ。安心しろ。ピーマンやナスは譲ってやるからな。
Hey, peppers and onions are good. They're a necessary component to a nice barbecue.
僕もさとこにかぼちゃを焼いたのをいっぱいいっぱい譲ってあげますです。
Of course, another thing is that peppers are kind of seen as the equivalent of broccoli in Japan. When Satoko heard the word squash, her complexion changed color. Why? Squash is nice. When she took my overwhelming reach into account, she knew it wasn't just a threat, it could actually happen.
監督に伝えとくや。さとこはかぼちゃが大好きだって。監督のことだから、日本全国から特産のかぼちゃを山盛り集めてきてくれるね。
Yo, we got any of that spaghetti squash? I love spaghetti squash. That's such a fun dish. You just take squash, you just take a fork, and you just kind of scrape out the insides, and then it comes out looking like spaghetti, which is crazy. And then you just add in a bit of butter and some like Parmesan, and boom, you have an instant delicious meal.
よかったな、サトコ。どのかぼちゃもよりどり緑だぞ。朝から晩までずーっと3食かぼちゃ三昧だ。
That's all it takes to get you to cry?
レナ、みんながいじめますな。
Satoko tried to leap into Rena's chest. Oh no, clearly, given another second, Rena's mock punches would have us piled on the ground. So just before Satoko hit Rena, I grabbed her by the nape of her neck and pulled her back. A superb reaction with only seconds of foresight. Or at least it was supposed to be. Oh no, buddy, are you going for what I think you are? But for Rena, when I caught the leaping... Wait. But for Rena, when I caught the leaping crying Satoko, it looked as if I was keeping her to myself. Oh. Bam bam bam!
ダメだよ、ケイチ君。これはレナのなんだよ。お持ち帰り。ははレナさん。その調子でミオさんとリカもやっつけてですわよ。
ちょっとタマ。
Good yell. That's a good scream. I can't see her beating up Rika,
さ
though.
あ、リカはどこですの？いた。レナさん、あそこでしたよ。待っててね、さとこちゃん。すぐに
Really?
見つけちゃうよ。
I wouldn't have
そ
thought...
したらすぐにお持ち帰り。
I wouldn't have thought that that would be a thing.
さとこがひどいのです。はう、リカちゃんもかわいい。
Yeah, I was gonna say.
はう、お持ち帰り。
Okay, you know, you're just kidnapping her. Okay. Well, you have everyone wrapped around your little finger.
そうもうないでございましてよ。
Satoko laughed in a shrill voice at Rika-chan and Rena's unproductive game of tag, while we watched them sprawled out on the ground.
大丈夫ですか、前原さん。
This is my everyday, bro.
園崎さんも。
The coach came over and lent us a hand.
まあ、私たちのいつものコミュニケーションですから。
Sure. You know what? Sure.
どうぞお気遣いなく。
いつも顔面にあざが残るようなコミュニケーションはもう嫌だぞ。
You never learn, do you? Laughed the coach loudly. It made us start to laugh too. Satoko's laughter, Rika-chan's yelling, and Rena's strange voice were kind of comfortable to hear. Because you don't know what it's going to be till, you don't really realize how nice it is till it's taken away. Through super ghost death murder. The adults here knew what they were doing, so the barbecue was ready in short order. As the salad oil dripped onto the plate with a hiss, there was a loud cheer. When the coach brought over a big plate with all the meat on it, we all cheered again.
わあ、これ本当にすごいお肉だよ。監督、本当に大奮発したんだね。
We got that Kobe beef.
約束ですからね。
Man, I got a Kobe beef like 6-course meal when I was in Kobe. God, it was so good.
これなんかグラムいくらするか知ってます？本当に奮発したんですよ。
当然ですわ。
At the same time, you get to participate in it too,
三流
so...
のお肉じゃ昨日の私の大活躍をねぎらうには値しませんでしたよ。そうだね。今日の主賓はさとこちゃんに違いないね。
確かに最後のホームランを打ったのは 紛れもなくサトコだもんな。しかも油断させたといえ、小細工なしの特大アーチ。
Has anyone drawn art of like Satoko in full baseball gear? I think that'd be a kind of a sick fit.
さとこは運動神経は良いのです。
悪いどころか世代的には突出してるんじゃない？私なんかと比べても運動能力は決して劣らないでしょ。
Actually, you know, I wonder how is women's baseball in Japan? I really do wonder. Because on the one hand, I could see it being like pretty popular, but I don't think it'll ever reach the heights of like how much Japan loves men's baseball, you know?
さとこちゃんってひょっとすると将来はスポーツ界で大活躍できるかもね。なんだか褒めちぎられて照れますわね。むしゃむしゃ。
Those are good noises. Satoko, for whom the excessive praise made her not notice the moderately grilled meat being stolen one after the other, was just far too cute.
前原さん。重い。
What are you carrying? Tomina-kun and Okamura-kun were carrying something over to us. It was a huge barbecue plate.
おお、これぞまさしくバーベキューの主人公の到着じゃねえかよ。
Barbecue Shujinko, wow. The plate was chock full of skewers with vegetables and meat on them. The grilled, burning hot meat juices made a shish-shish noise as they drizzled off. Gulp! You need a lot of heat for cooking something on a metal skewer, so they had grilled the whole plate at once.
やっぱりこれがなきゃバーベキューとは言わないですよね。
You know, it's a good thing I did this before lunch, so I can go out and eat right
あ
after.
あ、全くだ。俺も手を貸すから。
Like, this is actually making me so hungry for grilled
よ
meat.
いしょ。
I'm very
よいしょ。
happy the town I live in is known for seafood, beer, and meat on a stick.
わあ、見て見て、すごいのが来たよ。
Everyone greeted us with a cheer. Each person received a skewer with vegetables and big pieces of meat on it. They also received paper cups filled to the brim with juice. Oh, juice. What we talking? Melon, orange, apple, peach, mango? In my right hands were pounds of piping hot barbecue. In my left was a cup of juice I could chug down. If this didn't make you want to dance, you weren't a man.
おお、もう我慢できないぜ。ガブッといくぞ。ガブッと。
まだまだケイちゃん。
Oh?
ほらほら、一応セレモニーってことで。
Oh, we gonna kanpai?
みんな注目。
The coach with a cup of beer in his hand. Okay, that's how you know this isn't in North America, because they don't allow the coaches to have beer with the kids usually. Dang. With a cup of beer in his hand, mounted the nearby beer cooler. This was supposed to be a victory celebration after all. We needed an opening statement. Damn, I hope it ends soon. For every second this goes on, a little more of the food's freshness goes away. Whoa! Satoko stomped down onto the back of my foot.
まったく、いい年の男が卑しいですわね。もう少しエレガントに我慢できませんの？
俺ってつくづく思ってることが顔に出ちゃうのな。
Got one of them. There should be a word for like having the face of a visual novel protagonist where everyone can just read your thoughts.
じゃあみんないいですか？昨日は大勝利でしたね。すごいピッチャーの登場で苦戦もしましたが、こちらも同じくらい頼もしい助っ人の登場で見事逆転勝利を収めることができました。
Clap, 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 clap. Both my hands were full, so the adults and older brothers gave us a round of applause.
今日はその戦勝祝賀会です。約束通り美味しいお肉をいっぱい用意しましたからね。今日はいっぱい食べて次の試合への活力にしていきましょう。
Oh wait, this wasn't a one-time deal? Are we playing baseball for life now? Then after a few words of thanks to the fathers and brothers who helped us with the barbecue, he led us in a toast. There's the kanpai. They say that when toasting, you would normally down the contents of your cup. But we were young! At the toast, all of us immediately began to dig into our skewers. After that, it got really lively with everyone congratulating one another for things they did during the game. Like how someone made a great catch, or how awesome it looked when someone was stealing a base. Of course, they congratulated me too. the savior who appeared to fight against the Koshin
まあ
pitcher.
俺の活躍も含めてあれはサトコの活躍だったわけだがな。
確かにサトコの作戦ではあったけどさ、亀田を口説き落とすなんて真似はケイちゃん以外にはできなかったわけだし。
Yep. All thanks to me understanding the heart of a cake pervert.
十分ケイちゃんも称えられるに値する活躍をしてるよ。
そういえばケイチ君、あの後亀田君と一緒にケーキを食べに行ったんだよね。なんだかすっごく仲良さそうだった。
I guess I should have said fellow
ライバル
cake
関係から
pervert.
男同士の友情が芽生えちゃったわけ。
Sure, let's go with that.
そういうのってなんだかその
Okay. Alright. Adding Yaoi fangirl to that list of character traits for you. I violently brushed through Rena's hair. She turned red in the face for some reason at the mention of friendship between males, dispersing her pleasant-seeming ideas. Oh, yeah, okay. Now then, where's the hero? Or rather, heroine, Satoko? Oh, there she is. Satoko was with Rika-chan in the middle of bragging her heart out about the home run yesterday, and her teammates spared no compliment for her, since even though she was going easy on her, the fact that she hit a throw from a Koshin pitcher was something else. Satoko was more loquacious than usual. It seemed she was in a great mood. She was flying so high that I thought for a moment about getting a word in to tease her, but she seemed like that she was the leading actress today, so I decided not to bully her at all. As I watched Satoko going at things as lively as usual under the sun, it struck me that it didn't quite line up with the pleasant time I'd spend with her. But both of those were the real Satoko. I didn't care which it was, her smiling happily or making a big lively fuss like this. Just as long as she would keep smiling like this forever.
楽しそうですね。あんなにはしゃいで。
The coach had approached me from behind before I realized it. As he gazed at Satoko from far like I'd been doing, he addressed me. So I could tell he was talking about her.
さとこちゃんの笑顔を見てると、なんだか心が洗われる気がしません？
It is interesting they translated Kokoro as soul there. That's always an interesting thing when it's like the idea of like cleanse your heart versus cleanse your soul. Like for some people, they view that as a different idea, you know, soul being more like an ethical idea, but heart could be more personal. I think it's just an interesting choice. He smiled, refreshed, searching for confirmation. I felt a little embarrassed to admit it, so against my better judgment, I played it off.
そうですか？あいつの笑顔じゃ皿一枚ろくに洗えないと思うんですけどね。
それを聞いたら、さとこちゃん怒るんでしょうね。でも、そんな彼女もとってもキュートなんですよ。
Leaving her cuteness aside, well, I can understand him thinking Satoko getting angry for being teased would be funny.
イリアさんでしたっけ？
入江です。
Yeah, I was gonna say.
でも、みんな監督って呼びますからね。前原さんも監督と呼んでくださるととても嬉しいです。
As he said that, Coach Irie smiled, blushing a little.
監督はサトコのことを気に入ってるみたいですね。
I didn't have any real basis for saying that, it was just what I felt to be true.
ええ、気に入っていますよ。大好きです。
Okay. Okay, I think we need to get this guy to not come to school.
彼女がもっと大きくなったら、
Okay.
結婚しようと思ってます。
Yeah, no, you're a problem. So here's the thing, like the cake pervert was funny to make fun of. No, this dude's an actual problem. This guy really says some insane stuff, doesn't he? After being astonished by this, I hurried to put my mind back in order. I'd heard that this coach guy was the kind of person who said crazy things out of nowhere. Couldn't be me. According to Mion, if I took everything he said seriously, I physically wouldn't be able to take it. If I was to ignore that part of him, he seemed like he could be a really funny guy. Okay, so basically he's a YouTuber, right? Like, he doesn't exist in the age of YouTube, but if YouTube existed at the time, you know, when he was around, he would make a killing, right? He'd probably also open up Pokemon cards and have, like, a YouTube channel where him and, like, a much larger guy get drunk and, like, they do all sorts of stuff, like buying products online and, you know, commissioning art to open up an art gallery full of, like, you know, SpongeBob smoking weed art. That's what I'm thinking, you know? That's what I'm thinking.
あれ？今前原さん驚かれました。じゃあ ひょっとしてさとこちゃんのこと狙っています？
I mean, I don't think so.
それは困ります。
I think she's more just like a sister figure.
私はもう何十年も前から狙ってるんですよ。
No, we have to kill this guy.
監督、何十年も前にはまだ聡子は生まれてないと思
No,
うん
we
です
really gotta kill this guy.
ん
Coach gave a dry grin and laughed. Was this how I should be doing it? I must somehow master the art of responding to this coach guy. After that, I received many words of praise for my actions. Well, almost too many. As that conversation was happening, leaving aside the controversial statements this coach person would spout suddenly, I learned he was very composed and not a bad guy by any stretch. He just says the wackest shit ever.
俺なんかよりあの特大アーチを放った聡子の方が賞賛に値すると思いますよ。正直あいつにホームランを打てるなんて思わなかったです。
さとこちゃんのお兄さんはどちらかというとおとなしい文系のタイプでした。
That's interesting. You did know him.
きっとさとこちゃんは
Okay.
その反対の才能に恵まれたんでしょう。
Her brother? Right, he meant Satoshi. The one who left Satoko and ran away from home. Satoko's Nini. Satoshi Hojo.
ご存知ないですか？さとこちゃんのお兄さんです。
Be nice to get a little bit. See, I actually thought for a little bit, I thought this might be him. I actually thought, like, it's possible this is him. But, like, you know, that's why they call him Coach, because they don't want to say his name. I don't think so anymore, though.
北条聡君と彼もひなみ沢ファイターズで活躍し
Okay,
てた
so
んで
he
すよ。
was on the team. Well, it makes sense. He did have a baseball bat that we stole.
活躍してほしかったんですが転校してしまいましてね。
I do have to wonder if that phrase there, the way they use transferred, if it has euphemistic connotation or if it is just the word for transfer, you know?
そうなんですか。
So he transferred. Yeah, maybe that was a little more considerate than saying he ran away. Okay, well, maybe it's a euphemism for running away. Now that he mentioned it, I think it was Rena. I think she said Satoko transferred too. I didn't know the details of him having run away from home at the time, so I didn't pay much attention to it, but
兄貴だけ転校したんでしたっけ？そういうのって珍しいですね。
everyone having fun was far away. Sorry, everyone having fun was far away and their cheerful voices distant. The chorus of the cicadas separated us from them, giving a sense of distance. At first, I thought my own voice was too soft even for me to hear, but for a really long time, Coach didn't respond to my words. So at this point, I began to wonder if I'd said something I shouldn't have. Just when I began to feel impatient, Coach finally spoke.
不幸なことがあったんです。
Oh boy.
いろいろと。
Well, after informing me that what he was about to say was a secret, Coach began to talk a little at a time.
もう3年になります。
Okay.
ちょうど今頃の時期でしたっけ？
3 years. Okay.
さとこちゃんのご両親が事故に遭われましてね。
We did hear about that.
事故？
ええ、旅先の公園で展望台から転落されましてね。
It was supposed to just be a little time away from the house with the family. They went for a walk on a path through a nature park after it rained. There was a little viewing platform that looked like it had a good view. That was a stage on which the tragedy was set. The metal fixtures in the viewing platform fence had deteriorated from time. With all the rain they had just gotten, it might have loosened somewhat. Right before Satoko's eyes. Oh. Oh, she saw it. Oh, no. Oh, that changes things a little bit. Okay. She actually saw them die. Right before Satoko's eyes, both the fence and her parents fell. There was a river some tens of meters below. The water level was high due to the rain, and apparently very muddy.
それで両親は？
Coach gave a thin but melancholic smile and touched his paper cup to his lips. Without saying anything, I knew how unfortunate the accident was, and how Satoko's parents had left on an eternal vacation.
じゃあ さとこって、
I was so focused on being careful with my words that I lost what I was going to say. A single word. Orphaned. I knew how little consideration it showed and how much it would hurt Satoko without having to say it how much it would hurt Satoko without having to say it aloud. Come to think of it, Satoko lived with Rika-chan. At least that's what I thought I heard from the others. Wait, Rika-chan, her father died of illness too, and her mother soon after. Like I heard she was living by herself.
ええ、今はフルデさんと一緒に生活しています。二人ともご両親がいなくて心細い日もあったでしょうが、
That's
助け合いながら生活しているようです。
like that's actually incredibly sad to think about, but at the same time, I wonder if it is the better option than going into a new family. Because only they can understand each other
親
through
の
it,
日
you
もな
know?
く生きていくっていうのは、
Yeah.
あの年頃にはとても辛いことだと思います。
Boy, geez, does it force you to grow up fast.
前原さんでもその辺はわかるでしょ？
I've only survived because I rely on my parents, so the only reply I could give was to nod.
フルデさんは特に村のお年寄りに慕われていますからね。この村にいる限り生きていくのにそんなに不自由はないでしょう。
そういえばそうですね。リカちゃんって村のマスコットみたいなところがありますからね。確かにこの村での生活には困らないように思います。
Rika-chan could go meep just once and get 2 or 3 croquettes from a vendor after all. I feel like if she asked for help, everyone in the village would.
でもそれはフルデさんだけの特別な事情です。サトコちゃんも同じというわけではありません。
Rika being so spoiled was just an exception. Upon thinking about it normally, living on your own as a child should be fraught with difficulty. It wasn't then very difficult to imagine how much suffering Satoko had to go through just to live. It wasn't very difficult to imagine. Was I really thinking that? No, I was only thinking the words. I couldn't imagine it in the slightest. How was I supposed to imagine it when I saw that annoying smile of hers? There was no way I could. I found out she was living apart from her brother, and I just kind of vaguely thought it was rather unfortunate. I mean, Satoko was smiling so energetically every single day. Was I thinking that her smiling meant she wasn't hurt? That she didn't feel lonely? When she found out my parents were coming home the other night, Satoko said, "A family sitting around the dinner table is the most fun way to enjoy a meal." Oh, right. Those words held a lot more weight now.
あの子を養子に迎えようと本気で思ったこともあります。
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, buddy. Maybe making those comments will make them not approve that real fast.
養子
Like, I know they're just dark jokes, but if you're seriously considering it, I would watch your words. It's a secret. After warning me, Coach put his index finger to his lips.
私はこの年になるまで本当に堅実に生活してきました。財産もあるし、信用もあります。
Yeah, I don't know about that second part.
ですが、結婚だけはしてない。
Okay, so I do wonder if this is code for that he's gay, right? Because usually, especially at this time, the idea of like, oh, Robert E.O. Speedwagon never married. Yeah, it's because,
法律で既婚者でないと養子は取れないって
Oh,
決
wait.
まってるんですよ。
Is that real? I never even... Is that... I didn't even know that's real. Huh. I mean, I guess it makes sense because usually you need the income of 2 people to raise a child, right? Huh.
だから私はサトコちゃんを養子にしてあげられないんです。残念です。サトコちゃんにパパって呼んでもらえる計画は早くも頓挫ですから。
Yeah, you know what? This guy says stuff that I'm like, I kind of go like, oh, you're actually good. And then he says stuff like that. And now I'm like, I don't trust you. This guy spouts some crazy shit. At first, I was only half listening, but midway through, I realized how rude that was. This coach person seriously only wished for this one girl, Satoko, to be happy. That was neither crazy, nor was it nonsense. He just wanted her to be happy. Those were his true feelings.
サトコちゃんの今の生活は決して幸福なものではないでしょ でもね、それをほんの少しでも和らげてあげたいと思ってるんです。もっとも余り物のお裾分けや力仕事のお手伝いくらいしかしてあげられませんがね。
幸せですよ、サトコ。
Coach showed surprise at my having declared
こんな
that.
にもサトコの幸せを強く願う人間がこんなに身近にいて不幸なわけがありません。
I spoke with a serious expression, quietly but firmly all the same. It was my approval of his feelings and my gratitude as Satoko's Nini.
ありがとう。でもさとこちゃんには内緒にしてくださいね。彼女、私が養子にしたいなんて知ったら、こんなスケベ男なんか誰がパパと呼ぶものですかって憤慨しそうですから。
I mean, it's not unfounded. I wonder, Satoko may be somewhat childish. She was still able to emphasize with people. Empathize. God, I always get those mixed up. When speaking them out loud, not so much the meanings. She'd call him that. I knew it. As if my feelings had gotten across, Coach grinned, satisfied, and returned his gaze to the hustle and bustle before us. Her parents and her older brother. She lost her family, had no relatives, and was held up with Rika-chan, who was in the same situation. Satoko Hojo. It wouldn't be odd for her to look at her life with despair, but she didn't seem to feel that way. She lived energetically with a smile.
あの子にはね、いつまでも笑っていてほしいんです。
It was a naive wish, and yet it was one he couldn't help hoping for. So, the words I spoke were the
奇
same.
遇ですね。俺も同じことを考えています。
おや、前原くんもですか？では私たちは仲間ですね。約束しましょう。
約束？
Again, translation choice. Nakama is friends. Nah, that should be comrades. It's a very simple one, the coach said, giving me a grin.
絶対に彼女を泣かせたりしない。
Well, that'll be a little hard considering we just slightly bullied her and she cried today. It was short and to the point.
はい、俺もそれ約束します。
Coach nodded happily. We exchanged no more words after that. We just sat there comfortably, gazing at Satoko and everyone else having a good time. She'd certainly lost family, but there were people watching over her. How reassuring that must have
仮
been.
にですよ、サトコを養子にできたらどうします？
それは難しい質問ですね。
Coach gave a wry, happy smile, then exaggeratedly tilted his head in contemplation.
まずですね、私のことをご主人様と呼ばせて優しく可憐なメイドにします。
Wait, who's speaking?
は
How does this guy always wait? That no, that wasn't him. How does this guy always pick the craziest time to say the craziest things?
前原くん、私
Yeah,
まだ何も言ってませんよ。
his lip flaps didn't go.
何言ってんですか？今はっきりと言ったじゃないですか。
That probably works better in the unvoiced version.
そうそう、
Oh! Hi!
サトコを自分専属のプリッチーなメイドにするってはっきり言いました。
I mean, I know you're not dead, but I'm just surprised you're here. Have we
それはいいですね。
have we been introduced in this timeline?
さとこちゃんをプリチー。
No, we need stop.
プリティとプリッチーは似てるようで微妙に違いますからね。
You said them almost the same.
日本のわびさびをミックスした和洋折衷の言葉なので注意してください。
なるほどな。いやー、日本語は本当奥が深いよな。
そうそう、ケイちゃんはよく理解してます。ではそういうことで。
My hand shot out and grabbed Shion, smiling, waving, and about to leave by the nape of her neck. Okay, we do know her.
おい待てこら、突然現れて何をとんでもないことを言ってやがるんだ。
とんでもないことって言ったら、ケイちゃんと監督がしてたサトコラブなトークの方がよっぽどとんでもないと思いましたけど、養子縁組のあたりから再現してご覧に入
Oh
れま
god,
す？
she heard.
お前、ふ そんな時から息を潜めてやがったのか。
Are you just gonna be a problem in every timeline now?
お姉にすらかなわないケイちゃんが私に歯向かおうなんて100年早いってことです。
It's a new song, isn't it? This was Shion Sonozaki, the younger of the Sonozaki twins, though she hadn't a scrap of the reserved quality you'd expect from a little sister. She was a villain no better than her older sister Mion. We met the other... Oh, so we just had an off-screen moment of mistaking. Okay. What is this song? We met the other day in town and I dug myself into a hole when I mistook her for Mion. Okay, so I literally had this happen once where I ran into someone that I didn't know had a twin and was talking to her all casually, and then she was like, I'm not the person you think I am. I legitimately had that, and it was like terrifying, right? Unlike Mion, Shion said she was living in Okonomiya, so I thought we'd never see each other again, but well, to think we actually would. My frankly displeased expression didn't change a bit either. This must be what people mean when they say something is like water off a duck's back.
シオンさん、よく来てくれましたね。来てくれないと思ってがっかりしてたんですよ。
まあ他にすることが思いつかなかったってことです。
And I mean, if you heard there was like, 20 minutes away and all you can eat meat barbecue, I mean, you'd go.
ちょっとからかいに行こうかなくらいですので。
監督、どうしてシオンが戦勝祝賀会に呼ばれなくちゃなんないんです？こいつがどうチームの勝利に貢献したっていうのか。
それはですね、実は私がひなみ沢ファイターズのマネージャーだからなんです。
Okay.
マネージャー？嘘だろ？
Huh.
そんならなんで昨日の試合にいなかったんだよ。
マネージャーはマネージャーでも幽霊マネージャーですから。
Okay. Tehe. She seemed to think I'd forgive her if she stuck her tongue out and smiled. She wasn't sorry at all.
シオンちゃんが来てくれないと試合に花がないんです。
Oh my god, you're rizzing her up.
練習までとは言いませんから、試合にくらいまた昔みたいに応援に来てくれませんかね。
まあ考えておきます。ケイちゃんがひなみ沢ファイターズに移籍するんなら考えてもいいかな。私かっこいい男の子がいないと応援する張り合いがないんです。
Oh wow. Did Shion just smoothly say something so absurd?
シオン、あんたまだどこから湧いて出たの？
Suddenly Mion came running over, latched onto my shoulders, and pulled me towards her.
あー、みーちゃんの妹さんだ。しーちゃん、こんにちは。
レナさん、こんにちは。まだ1回しか会ってないのに名前を覚えてもらって
Okay,
光栄です。
so they have met once. Okay.
あ、こちらこそ。レナの名前を覚えててくれてありがとう。
そんな挨拶はどうでもいいの。ケイちゃんの勧誘なんてダメだからね。ケイちゃんは我が部のホープなんだから、野球なんかに引っこ抜かないで。
Mion gave a low growl as she grappled my arm. She looked like a little girl desperately clinging to her toy.
ケイチ君はうちの部活の期待の新人なの。だからトレードとかは全然ダメなんだよ。
Rena's smile hid a nonchalant bloodthirst. She was blocking Shion's way and ready to unleash an ultimate attack if she got within 2 meters of me. I felt like this was going to turn into a bloody battle.
それは残念です。じゃあ交渉はまたの機会に。あんたに交渉権なんかないの？監督、なんでシオンまで呼んだわけ？シオンは丸1年もサボってる幽霊部員じゃない。
シオンちゃんがいると賑やかになって楽しいかなって思っ
He's
たん
like,
ですけどね。
I know there'll be shenanigans.
実に賑やかになりました。
That was what he planned for all along. Mission accomplished.
ほら、ケイちゃんおいでおいで。みんなでゲームやるよ。もちろん罰ゲーム付きでね。
Okay, interesting. Batsu game, punishment game is with strings attached. That's good. That's good. I like that.
しーちゃんもどう？ルールは簡単だし楽しいよ。
どうしようかな。私が参加すると勝っちゃいま
Oh,
すから。
dang.
お姉の部長としての面目を潰しちゃうと悪いですし。
Mion, now irritated, turned around with a glare.
なんですお姉。私も一緒に参加して姉妹対決にした方がいいですか？
I kind of love her smug looks in this art style a lot.
多分やめといた方がお姉のためだと思いますけど。あっかべー塩なんか混ぜてやらない。仲間外れべーだ。
Whoa, Mion just avoided a direct confrontation. Seemed like the twins were completely incompatible with each other.
混ぜてあげないの？みーちゃんとの対決見たかったかな？
私シオン嫌い。あいつと戦うのは苦手なの。
An angry Mion dragged me away. Slide?
頑張ってくださいね。ここで応援してますから。ケイちゃんファイト。おう。
Oh, you're doing the phrase. Shion waved her hand at us, reveling in the bliss of teasing Mion. Alright, club activities had begun, which meant I needed to clear my mind. What was today's battle? Today's punishment game. I'll take everything on.
ほらほらケイチさん、覚悟なさいませよ。今日は徹底的に行きますわ
What
よ。
are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
お上等だぜ。さとこだろうと誰だろうと手加減無用でぶっ潰してやるぜ。
そこをレナは漁夫のりで優勝だよ。僕はそれに小判ザメで優勝を狙いますです。
What a phrase.
リカちゃんが小判ザメみたいにペター。
That is what she said.
お持ち帰り。
よしみんな。
That just makes me think of the Toho song. And like, here's the thing. I had that Toho song stuck in my head for like a long time when I was in school. I didn't know it was about flat chests.
今日は大人数だから簡単で分かりやすいゲームにしよう。今日のゲームはね。
Okay? It's break time. Gotta have a break first. Can't game on a non-bathroom break. Everyone who... Oh. Huh. Or not. We're skipping it. Maybe it'll be in the tips there. Well, everyone who lost the game dropped out and had to clean up after the barbecue. Shion laughed more uproariously than anyone I'd ever heard when she saw my loser face. Okay, was getting bombed out of the game really that
い
funny?
やいや、あの時のケイちゃんの顔。お前らそれでも人間かよ。みたいな。
Oh my god.
ちくしょう。長期の買い占めまでは作戦通りだったのに、あそこでさとことリカちゃんの裏切り
What
さえな
game
けれ
did
ば。
they play? It was going great while we maintained a united front, but Satoko had been quicker to betray me than I her. She was just a teeny bit better than me. Ugh.
だから北条を信じちゃいけないって警告したんですよ。
Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were unanimously wearing I told you so faces. Incidentally, those two were victims of Satoko's traps pretty early on as well.
さあ、富田君たちの分まで頑張るつもりだったのにな。
And once again, for the showdown, it didn't matter. Maybe this meant I still couldn't match up to the other members yet.
で、部活メンバーの最下位には何か罰ゲームがあるってことになってるんじゃなかったでしたっけ？
Shion remarked as though forcing me to recall something I tried to forget even for a moment.
そうだったかな。
そういえば前原さん、委員長と罰ゲームを決めるとき、
Oh
か
no.
なり熱くなってましたけど。
Oh no, is he
一体
hoisted by his own
何を
petard?
罰ゲームにしたんですか？
What did he do?
さっきお姉にエンジェルモートの制服を調達してくれ
Oh
って
no.
頼まれたんですけど、
Oh no.
それと何か関係あります？できる限り大きめのサイズでって
Oh
言われたんですけど。
Don't let Coach see me. Tomono-kun and Okamura-kun were giving me these complex, indescribable looks, mixing empathy, pity, and the desire to see something scary all at once. We lost him. All I could do now was laugh. Strangely enough, the more I laughed, the more I felt like it was actually funny. Ugh, I lost.
あれあれ
Oh no.
前原さん、ど
Oh
うしちゃったんです
no.
か
He's here.
笑ったり泣いたり吠えたり。
いいんです。あれは嫌がってるふりのジェスチャーなんです。罰ゲームを口実に得られる貴重な経験に興奮を隠せないだけなんです。ねえ。
何が貴重な経験とは。
I held my head in my hands in agony. My state of mind could be summed up with a 3-letter word. It was sob. There's a lot of 4-letter words you could use there. Coach putting his hands on my shoulders, gently putting him. Was he comforting me?
前原さん、
Oh no.
苦境を受け入れなければならない時はですね、厳しい指導を受けているメイドであると想像するんです。
Why are you allowed to be near children?
ほら、絶望的なシチュエーションがなんだか楽しそうになってきませんか？いいじゃないですか。
Red in the face and indulging in his imagination, still holding my shoulders, Coach said, "Oh, Goshujin-sama," and started twirling around like a ballerina. I had to wonder what kind of word associations he had going on in his head. At the very least, it was much different than what was in mine. The first thing comes to mind when I think of disciplining certainly isn't
富田
maids.
君、岡村君、君たちの監督は実に面白いな。こんなのでよく監督が務まるな。
Right? Tomono-kun and Okamura-kun exchanged glances and answered with dry smiles. Was he literally the only one who put in a job application? Then they added that he was a really nice person most of the time, which is something you normally say about a person like that. Coach's questionable revolution slowed to a stop, and then his expression returned to a clear, calm one, almost making what just happened seem like an illusion. He can switch gears way too fast.
では、お片付けを続けましょう。前原さんは力持ちみたいですからね。プレートを水場に持って行って洗っていただけますか？
了解です。
I hoisted the dirty barbecue plates, each with slimy oil clinging to it, and looked for the wash basins. These are heavy. Where are the wash bins? Over there. I think I should make it there before my arms give out. I headed towards it at a trot. A lot of adults who have been helping out were using the wash basins, so I gave up and looked for a different set. I asked them, and they told me there was more right by the assembly hall, so I decided to head that way. Rather than multiple basins, there was just one faucet there. I initially thought it would be too small to wash plates as big as these, but it would probably still be faster than waiting for a faucet to open back up there. I turned the faucet, and water much nicer looking than it gushed forth. I put a plate under the faucet and scrubbed it with my hand to try and rub it clean. It didn't go over very well.
はい。スポンジとクレンザー。
Sponge and soap.
そんなの水だけで洗ったって無理です。
Yeah, if you got oil, that water's just gonna bounce off. Boy, we have zero skills for living life, huh? It was Shion. She threw a brand new sponge in a container filled with cleaner to me.
サンキュー。
そんなの洗い場に置いて大人たちに任せちゃえばいいのに。つくづくケイちゃんっていい人です。
I got the feeling that wasn't quite a compliment. I answered her with a forced smile.
シオンがひなみ沢ファイターズのマネージャーだったなんて驚いたぜ。そういうのはめんどくさがってやらないやつだと思ってた。
ええ。
Also, being a manager for a team in another whole town.
めんどくさいですよ。ですから今は完全に幽霊ですけどね。
監督、帰ってきてほしいって言ってたじゃないか。たまには帰ってきてやれよ。
まあ気が向いたら。
She made it sound like the end of the world could happen before she felt like it. Oops. Couldn't keep washing the dishes while preoccupied with conversation, so I decided to take my task seriously. She had neither offered to help nor got in my way. She just quietly watched the water flowing from the faucet.
そうそう、聞きましたよ。
Uh-huh.
昨日の試合、ケイちゃんが大活躍したそうじゃないですか。
You could say that.
褒めるなら、俺よりもホームランを決めたサトコの方だろう。 あいつ運動神経良かったんだな。俺驚いたよ。
サトシ君とは大違いです。
You know him,
No.
right?
運動神経は妹に全部取られちゃったに違いないです
So
ね。
Satoshi was a nerd. Like he was a quiet book reading nerd, huh? Okay. Shion smiled as she spoke, her eyes looking at something far away, betraying her reminiscence.
サトシ君？
北条聡子の兄です。北条聡君。あ、そっか。ケイちゃんって今年引っ越してきたんでしたっけ？なら会ったことありませんね。
I was a little surprised that Shion knew about Satoshi. Okay, so my idea that we are secretly Satoshi is very quickly crumbling apart.
会ったことはないけど、少しは知ってるよ。確か両親が亡くなった後、
Oh,
転校したんだよな。
is she gonna give us the non-euphemized truth? I avoided saying he ran away from home and used the slightly more vague words that everyone else did.
転校？
Oh, see?
誰がそんなこと言ったんですか？
Okay. I didn't realize that Shion's tone had changed slightly.
いや、
Oh boy.
誰って？
That's kind of scary art.
誰だっけかな。
The fact that he's not looking at her while washing the dishes there.
うん、誰かに聞いたんだよ。転校したって。
その誰かって誰ですか？
Oh.
誰かに聞いたから言ってるんですよね、転校って。
誰に聞いたかなんてよく覚えてないよ。転校だって言うならそれでいいだろ。別に問題があるわけじゃないし。
ありますよ。転校届が出されたわけですか？学校とかに。それを誰かが見た？
Oh, you sound mad.
それとも聞いた？
Around that time, I not only noticed how awfully caught up on this Shion was, but also how startlingly dangerous her eyes had begun to look.
シオン？なんだよお前。
Yeah,
目がマジだぞ。
with that, Shion seemed to realize the expression she was making. She took a deep breath, pretended to fix her hair, and went back to her composed expression from before.
す
See,
みません。
that's more what I would have expected. Oh, that's cool. I like that
Demo,
CG
Kei-chan.
art difference.
よく知りもしないでサトシ君のこと、転校とか言わないでください。
I thought it was a euphemism,
Honton.
for sure.
お願いしますね。
I realized I must have said something I shouldn't have. I wasn't immediately sure of what I should apologize for, so I just said one safe word for now. Sorry.
なんとなく転校と聞かされて、そうだと信じてたんだよ。じゃあ、実際は違うのか？
Be nice to learn the truth. It was, of course. Preceded by his parents, he left his sister and run away. But I wanted to try and avoid using the words run away, so I pretended not to know. Upon seeing my flustered reply, Shion realized she was intimidating me and lowered her voice.
すみません。別にケイちゃんを責めてるわけじゃないんです。ちょっと言葉がきつすぎましたね。謝ります。
別に気にしてないよ。
Yeah, I don't mind, but can you just tell me the truth? That was a fib. I was actually a little scared even. Was there something wrong with saying he ran away? Is there some sort of misunderstanding in the way in saying that he transferred? Before I could ask her, she turned on her heel to leave. Oh, well, never
おい、
mind.
シオン。
じゃあ頑張ってください。ケイちゃんのプレートで最後みたいですよ。洗い物。
Her final remark reminded me of the dishes I had so easily forgotten about. So immersed in conversation were we that it got pretty late. I turned the faucet again to get the water flowing faster. Whish! I violently scrubbed the plate. When I turned back around, Shion was no longer there. By the time I'd finished washing the plates, most of the other things had been cleaned up. The air had cooled off before I'd realized it, and as the heat that had stuck with us all day disappeared, a nice breeze started to blow. Huh. So there's definitely stuff with, like, is it that the younger kids were told he transferred away, and the older ones maybe know the truth? Is that what we're getting at? Or is it all just multiple euphemisms? I mean, we know he ran away, but even that's an interesting potential euphemism, you know? I don't know. Coach got everyone together to make his closing remarks, and with that, another fun day drew to its close. In the end, Mion ended the game with a magnificent victory. Satoko and Rika-chan, who had labored so hard to betray me, had fallen into a huge trap afterwards, leaving them frustrated about more than a few
人を
things.
裏切るやつはいつか自分も裏切られる。いい見本だな。
うがー、そんなこと圭一さんに言われたくありませんわ。レナは誰の口車にも乗らなかったからね。2位になれたんだよ。レナはなかなか嘘に引っかからないのです。勘がいいのですよ。
I'm surprised. She seems like she would fall for the first lie to come her way.
それを言ったらケイちゃんでしょ。他人を食い物にしてやろうと欲張って真っ先に自分が食い物に。友達を紹介すれば紹介するほど高収入なんてバカな商法に引っかかるんじゃないよ。
へいへい、努力しますよ。とほほほ。
Even good friends will lay traps mercilessly and betray everyone in sight once they get into a serious enough game. Despite that, once it's all over, they can feel refreshed and laugh together. It reminded me of how we were all such great friends.
それよりも圭一さんの罰ゲームが楽しみでございますわね。
I forgot about it.
でも本当に実現できますの？店長さんもそんなの嫌だって言うと思いましたよ。
Wait, what?
どうだろう。
Are we gonna be working there?
すっごく可愛くなるかも。
Oh no!
なるかも。
That's worse than what I could have imagined.
見てみたいかも。僕もとても楽しみなのですよ。転ばせてふきふきをさせますです。
ああ、それはいいね。
なぜここ一番で俺は勝てないんだ。今日は絶対に勝ちたい。この罰ゲームは誰かにやらせてみたいと思うと。
How it is, man. It's how it always is. The higher you want to fly, the quicker your wings burn up or
足りない
something.
のか。勝利への信念が足りないのか。
敗者の嘆きは蜜の味ですわね。かわいそうかわいそうなのです。
Pat pat.
ケイチくんもこうやって強くなっていくんだね。去年のみーちゃんを見てるみたい。
Mi-chan last year? What, did she always lose and moan about it in the past? Oh, very interesting. I didn't know our undefeated President Mion was like that.
余計なことは言わなくていいの。
Mion hastily covered Rena's mouth. Everyone watching burst out laughing. Finally, Rika-chan pulled on Satoko's sleeve.
さて、僕たちはそろそろ行かないといけないのです。あ、お夕飯のお買い物に行かないといけませんわね。
I wanted to keep talking like this forever, but it was getting late. We split up with Satoko and Rika-chan and decided to get on our way home.
じゃあまた明日学校で会おうね。
Everyone waved to each other and split up for the short time between now and tomorrow.
じゃあ行こう。
We began walking down the tall staircase leading from the shrine grounds. As the sun started to set, the afternoon's heat began to disappear as though it were never there. Just listening to the chorus of the Higurashi was enough to make me forget about how hot it had been today.
そういえばまだ6月なんだよね。今年は梅雨とか全然ないでいきなり夏みたいな感
God,
じだ
that'd be
ね。
nice. I mean, rain is nice, but at the same time, when the rainy season comes and it's just like rain, 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 that sucks, man. Never do anything with it. Now that I thought about it, she was right. It was June, the season of long range, of hydrangeas and snails. I hadn't seen a real rainy season since transferring here.
週間予報によると週明けあたりからはもうちょっと梅雨らしい天気になるん
Okay,
です
so
よ。
it's coming.
大雨注意とか言ってたから。綿流しにぶつからなきゃいいんだけど。
Oh, whoa, what if it just gets skipped because of rain? That'd be crazy. Whoa, I never considered that.
やっぱり梅雨は梅雨らしい方がいいよね。レナは梅雨の長雨って結構好きだよ。
長雨なんて気がめいるだけだって。ねえケイちゃん。
ああ。
I was a little spaced out, so I was late in answering Mion. I was thinking back to a conversation with her sister. When I said that Satoshi transferred, Shion clearly got angry. She was mad at me for saying something so careless. I mean, it may have been a vague way of skirting around the fact that he ran away from home, but I don't think it was so bad that Shion would need to feel mad about it. I wasn't really satisfied with it. I felt like a child completely ignorant of what he was being scolded for. So my thoughts spilled out of my mouth in a very direct fashion.
サトコに兄貴って言ったよな。サトシって名前だっけ？
Oh, interesting reactions. As soon as I said the name Satoshi, Rena and Mion both lost their relaxed, comfortable mood and made strange expressions. Should I have avoided talking about this? That's what they made me think. I've already said it, so that's that. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested.
サトシってどうしたんだっけ？引っ越したんだっけ？
That was such a transparent way of putting it, but in my desire to know everything, I feigned ignorance.
うん。
Mion turned around and looked to Rena for assistance. Rena looked between us, then quietly and softly spoke.
あれ言わなかったかな、転校しちゃったんだよ。
You're really sticking with that. When I said those words to Shion, she got upset. So I answered her with the same words Shion had given me.
転校って誰がそんなことを言ったんだよ。
I'd only intended to borrow Shion's words, but I said it the same way she had, right down to the thorns in my voice. When I realized what I'd done, I immediately tried to soften my remark.
本当に転校したなら転校届とかが
This is
学校に
interesting.
提出
He's
されるは
just
ずだろ。
using her exact words to try and get an answer to his own
でも
questions.
そんなの実際には出てないんじゃないのか？
Mion and Rena, their eyes grew wide. They were at a loss for words. I started to feel like I was doing something really bad. I thought they were only hiding the fact that Satoko's older brother ran away out of consideration for her.
別に二人を責めてるわけじゃないんだぜ。ただサトシはどうしたのかなって聞いてみてるだけのつもりで。
I wasn't trying to blame them. The fact that I had to remind them, even looked like I was tormenting them was an impossible question. No, maybe I actually was bullying them. Maybe I'd lashed out at them in retaliation for Shion getting mad at me. This whole day had been so much fun, but now, why did I go and say something that made all of that meaningless? I couldn't help but regret my own careless curiosity. That's enough. Let's drop it now. As I was about to say that, Mion spoke up.
別に隠そうとか騙そうとかそういうつもりじゃないのを分かってほしいんだけど。
Mion's tone conveyed her genuine awkwardness. They sounded like the excuse of a child who'd been presented with evidence of her own mischief.
サトシは転校したわけじゃないんだよ。
Okay, so they know. Mion said, resigning herself. But I felt bad for pushing her to say that. So, it's okay, Mion. Let's stop talking about Satoshi. Sorry for teasing you. I wanted to apologize, but right before that...
帰ってこないの。
You know, if it didn't have that stinger sound, this could have been a normal continuing conversation thing. Unlike Mion's stammered reply, Rena was extremely clear and resolute.
帰ってこないって。え？
ある日から家に帰ってこないの。
He won't come back. That was a very strange way of putting it. Normally you would say that he hadn't come back yet. At least, I thought you'd only say it like Rena did. He wasn't capable of coming back. You wouldn't say it like that when talking about someone who ran away from
帰っ
home.
てこないってどういう意味だよ。じゃあサトシはどこへ行ったんだよ。
Oh, the piano in this piece is crazy.
知らない。
Oh. Rena's word choice felt cold to me. Okay. I'm gonna say... my thoughts, okay? I think... Because look at her smile. And the way she's saying that is a... It's a... Well, he's gone, and I don't know and I don't care, but she's happy he's gone. It's almost like it's a good thing he's gone. Was he a Shinji? Was he a bad brother? Right? That almost sounds like he's not coming back and this is a good thing. It was so cold I couldn't muster a response right away.
だからさ、ある日を境に、
Again,
は家に帰ってこなかった。
after that day, that makes it sound to me like it's a almost a legal deal. Mion noticed the deadlock between us and hurriedly followed up on what Rena had said.
まあその、村中みんなで探したし、警察も方々を探してくれたよ。
Even the police, huh?
それでその、家出じゃないかって話になってさ。
家出じゃないかって話になって。
When running away from home, I thought you were supposed to leave a note or something. So when Satoshi ran away, he would probably have left some kind of note apologizing to Satoko. That was just kind of what I figured. But from the way Mion was talking, seemed a little different than just running away from home.
警察の人が調べたらさ、サトシってバイトとかでコツコツとお金を貯めててさ、それをいなくなった日に全部下ろしてたのが分かったんだよ。で、名古屋駅だかでサトシによく似た人が目撃されたとかで。
He withdrew all of his savings to fund his escape from home, was that it? Seemed consistent enough to me. Before I could say anything...
私はそんなの嘘だと思う。
Oh.
サトシ君は家出なんかじゃない。
Wait, huh? Rena declared that
ちょっ
shortly.
と待てよ。転校したわけでもなく、引っ越したわけでもなく、それで家出したわけでもないなら、一体サトシはどうして？
やめなよレナ。
Mion whispered to her. Rena, however, continued without interruption. And then she said this.
だってこれは
Oh,
お社様のたたりだもの。
it's been a while since we've kind of talked about that.
たたり？
It took some time before I understood what Rena meant by that. Mion clicked her tongue and shook her head a little.
サトシ君は
Oh no!
消える前に私に教えてくれた。
Oh, the scary eyes are back.
誰かに見張られている。後をつけられている。家の中にまでついてくる。寝るとき、枕元に立って見下ろしてるって教えてくれた。
やめなよレナ。
それは間違いなくお社様のたたりの前兆。きっとサトシ君は心のどこかでひなみ沢を捨てて逃げ出そうという気持ちがあったんだと思う。それをお社様は許さなかった。
だからやめなって。
お社様はひなみ沢の守り神様。
Okay, wow, we're doing this a lot earlier.
ひなみ沢を捨てて逃げ出そうとする人を絶対に許さない。私はそれを謝った。でもサトシ君はきっと謝らなかった。だから
Oh. That's a new sprite. That's a scary sprite.
お社様のたたりに会ってしまったに違いないの。
The way her mouth opens too is like it's angry, it's scary.
お社様のたたりだって？
I hadn't intended to repeat it. This is a little scary. The words came out of my mouth anyway. Yashiro-sama's
警
curse.
察が家出だって決めつけたって信じない信じない。私は絶対に信じない。そんなのたたりだと認めたくない村の偉い人たちが決めただけの嘘っぱち。お社様のたたりは信じようと信じまいと確かに。
Wham! Mion struck Rena in the head. And not in a joking way either.
いい加減にしろって言ってるでしょ。
Oh my god.
恩和の私でも島には怒るよ。
Pushing her to her limits. Actually, there was plenty of displeasure and anger in Mion's face at the moment. For a few moments after being hit, Rena looked astonished. Perhaps the voices of the Higurashi calmed her frantic mind. So after a little while, she regained her original calm expression. Whoa. We arrived at the place we always split up with Mion. No one said a word until we got there. The voices of the Higurashi just tortured our ears with their buzzing. We'd always split up with Mion here, leaving just Rena and me.
あのさ、ケイちゃん、前に漫画化すって約束したじゃない？
Oh.
よかったら寄ってく？
Oh. Huh? She promised that. However, I quickly realized it was a convenient way of saying she wanted to talk to me alone.
あ、そう なんだ。じゃあレナは先に帰ってるね。
Maybe she realized it, maybe she didn't. Thankfully, Rena quickly said she'd go home before us.
じゃあねレナ、また明日。
うん、また明日ね。ケイチくんもあまりお邪魔しすぎないようにね。もう夕方だから。
ちょっと本を借りに寄るだけだよ。じゃあな。
Considering the fun day we had, it was a very insipid, lonely parting.
さっきのあまり気にしないでね。
After a little while, Mion finally spoke. Quite some time had passed since splitting up with
いや
Rena.
別に俺の方が悪かったと思う。
サトシの話は別に隠してたわけじゃないんだよ。あまり触れない方がいい話だからさ。
At this point, I understood exactly what she meant by that. Judging by her odd interactions with Rena, I understood so well it hurt, and I shouldn't ever talk about it again. Actually, if that's the case, then was Shion too? No, this is a bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place had been indiscreet. I shouldn't have been interested in it at all. But that's why I really had to think about it. About why everyone got so irritated. Idiot, stop this, Keiichi Maibara. By the time I tried to warn myself, I'd accidentally
もう
spoken.
二度と聞かないからさ、正直なところを教えてくれないか。一体サトシに何があったんだ。家でなんだろう。
For a long time, Mian remained silent, but finally, unable to endure it any longer, she began to speak timidly.
お社様のたたりの話は聞いたことある？
ほんの少しくらいなら。
I got the gist of it. I only overheard someone in class talking about it, though. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the deity protecting Hinamizawa that they worship at the shrine we had barbecue at today. And a few years ago, when they started talking about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people worked on site died or something, and people blamed it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's how it was.
サトシの死んだ親ってのがさ、ダムの誘致派でね。
え？ひなみ沢の人って村中でダムに反対してたんじゃないのか？村人なのにダムの賛成派もいたのか？
The dam project that would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I'd heard the village all got together to fight the terrible project, but it was a little hard to believe that there were villagers who were supporting it.
まあいろいろと事情もあってね、ダム計画に反対する人ばかりでもなかったんだけどさ。で、その親ってのが誘致派のリーダー格だったんだよ。
誘致派のリーダー格。つまりサトコとサトシの親がってことだよな。
うん。国はダム工事に伴って多額の保証金を用意してたからね。そのお金が欲しくてダム計画に賛成してた人たちも結構いたんだよ。
Always comes back to money, man. Aside from a few households, Hinamizawa was, in general, not very affluent, and not because they were proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. And it wouldn't be strange if some people wanted enough money to start a new life. But even in that case, they would have had to hesitate to say so given the situation. It just happened to be Satoko and Satoshi's parents, who understood that and stood up to be the representative. By that standard, you might say Satoko and Satoshi's parents were very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, all to help those without much money who didn't have a voice.
それで運悪くその両親がさ、お社様を祀るお祭りの日に事故死しちゃったんだよね。それでお社様のたたりにあったんじゃないかってことになっちゃったわけ。
I thought back to what Coach told me. They went to a nature park on a family outing and fell from a cliff.
でサトシが家出したのまでお社様のたたりってことにされちまったわけか。
まあ、うん、そんな感じ。
It was a bit of an evasive reply, but I felt it was wrong to ask any further, so I didn't press for details.
もう説明するまでもないと思うけどさ、サトコにとっては両親の事故もサトシの家出も、そしてお社様のたたりなんて話も愉快な話じゃないのはわかるでしょ。
Yeah, well, of course I knew. I could only nod silently.
だからさ、私たちはサトコの家族の話には触れないことにしてる。サトシのことは仮に聞かれても 転校したってごまかすことにしてる。その辺の事情を汲み取ってもらえるよね。
They wanted to protect Satoko's happiness, her smile. As someone who thought that way once, even for a short time, I really did regret having been imprudent enough to broach the topic to begin with.
ああ、わかるよ。俺も軽はずみなことを聞いたと後悔してる。
When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little relieved. With that understanding, thinking that I should get going, I began to make my way home. I could really have stopped by Mion's house, but now it was already late. I'd stop by again the next time I had a
じゃあな、
chance.
ミオン。今日は悪かったな。また明日な。
じゃあね。
We waved to each other. Then, suddenly remembering something, Mion called out to me.
ケイちゃん、あとさ、サトコにだけじゃなく、レナの前でも、サトシの話は慎んでくれるかな。
Okay.
さっきので分かったと思うけどさ、レナってどういうわけかお社様のたたりの話だけは
She gets them
笑い事で
freaky
済まないんだよ。
eyes.
転校してきた時から。
Yeah, judging by how Rena was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter to her. Mion had interrupted the conversation for us, but if Mion hadn't been there, what might have happened?
どうしてレナはあんなにマジになるんだろうな。
Not only Rena either, but Shion too.
知らない。レナはね、
Oh?
これ内緒だよ。言ったら絶好だよ。
Mion emphasized this as her expression clouded even further.
言わないよ。で、レナが何だってんだよ。
お社様のたたりに会ったことあるんだって。
え？
私は
Hmm.
悪いけど被害妄想過剰な何かの思い込みじゃないかって思ってるんだけどね。
Damn, if one of your friends says you have a persecution complex, that's real rough.
でも本人はそう言ってるし、茶化すとかなり怒る。レナは普段はちゃらけてるけど怒るとかなり怖い。
分かってるよ。レナの前でも言うなってことだろ。サトシの話。
うん、できればこの話題にも二度と触れるべきじゃないと思うね。レナのためにもサトコのためにもさ。
For everyone else's too. And if I must say, for your own sake too, Kei-chan. With her silence, Mion made sure I knew
そうだ
that.
な。うん、分かったよ。
ありがとう。
Saying only that, she waved her hand and began walking away. I watched her go, a little dazed, then started walking myself. Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Had he run away from home? Or had he been a victim of the curse and disappeared forever? Whichever was the case, none of this was anything I should have asked about. The cooling air forced me into self-reflection. I wanted Satoko to smile, yet my curiosity easily defeated me, and I frivolously tried to step into the dark side of things in a joking way. I'm shameful. I wanted today to be exactly like yesterday. I wanted tomorrow to be just as fun as today, too. So why did I go and do something like that? We were having a blast at the baseball game yesterday, and today we had a blast at the big barbecue party, too. It was a lot of fun. But then I went and almost nullified all those fun times. I would have to be more careful starting tomorrow. Put all this unpleasant stuff behind me forever. Like hell, I'm gonna let my enjoyable life end because of how careless I was today. The more I thought that I'd be more careful starting tomorrow, the more I couldn't get rid of the ominous thought that I had already put an end to those enjoyable days with what I'd just done. Hey, wait. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. The gears of destiny are freaking gigantic, aren't they? What happened just now was trivial. It doesn't make any sense to think my life would be totally different starting tomorrow. But even though I understood it logically, the mist in my heart wasn't going to fade until tomorrow turned out to be as fun as
変
today.
だぞ俺。さっきのみんなとのやりとり、ちょっと気にしすぎだぜ。
I wish tomorrow would come already. I wanted it to make me understand how absurd my insignificant doubts really were. The night was long. Fading? Yeah, there we go. Well, well, well. You know, I said I wanted it to be more serious, and I think I got it, man. How many tips we got? The slacking manager, copy of the preliminary autopsy, and East Round 3. Okay, mystery meat, having a barbecue with everyone. Well, it's not mystery meat. They clearly label it. These two are interesting. This one sounds like it's just kind of a silly one, but the other two are kind of scary looking.
シオンさんも少しは手伝ってください。
女の子に重いものを運ばせようって言うんですか？そんなだからいい年になっても相手が見つからないんですよ、監督は。
I'd kill myself right there.
ですね。そういうのを曰くこう言います。余計なお世話です。
If that was the end, that'd be crazy. He was loading the station wagon with heaps of equipment we'd use for today's barbecue meeting. All the fathers and son who'd helped out were starting to get on their way.
さて、シオンさんはどうしますか？あなた、ここまでは何で来ました？自転車でしたら、積んで送って差し上げますよ。
バイクだからいいです。お心遣いだけで嬉しいってことにしときます。
今日は来てくれて嬉しかったですよ。やはりマネージャーさんがいないとパッとしませんからね。
まだ私マネージャーなんですか？1年も丸々サボってんだから、こんな無能マネージャー、いい加減に解雇するべきだと思いますよ。
シオンさんが辞めたいって自分で言えたらいつでも解雇してあげますよ。
ずるいな。早く解放してくださいよね。試合があるたびに来ないかと電話がかかってくるの、もううざくてかなわないんですから。
Wonder why she won't just quit.
シオンちゃんももっともっと素直になれば、とってもキュートで可愛い女の子なのに。お父さんは悲しいですよ。一体どこでねじ曲がってこんなにひねくれてしまったんだか。お父さんの愛の抱擁で力強く包み込めば目が覚めますか？
We gotta kill this guy.
ほら。
Coach was fooling around with all his might, but Shion just smiled into the distance without responding.
何も変わってない。監督が変な人で、みんなのにぎわいも何も変わってないのに。
サトシ君だけいない。
I was gonna say, yeah, that's the
おっしゃ
implication,
りたい
yeah.
のですか？帰ってきますよ。きっと待っている人がいるんですから。
勝手なこと言っててください。
彼も罪作りな人ですよね。こんな可愛い彼女を置き去りにして、
Oh.
どこへ行ってしまったんだか。
Oh. Okay, that contextualizes things a little bit.
彼女、
Even if it wasn't fully confirmed, but they were real close, which makes sense then why she had a reaction that way.
もういつまで笑ってるんですか？監督。
Coach bent over and laughed hardly for a little while.
ではまたお会いしましょうね。試合にもたまには応援に来てくださいよ。
まあ気が向いたら。私マネージャーなんか全然もうやる気ないんですから。
いいんですよ。あなたが嫌ならいつでもクビにしてあげますよ。嫌がるのを無理やりってのは私の性分ではありませんからね。
はいはい。すみませんね、すみませんね。私の負けです。気が向いたらまた応援に来ますので、今日は堪忍してください。
おっと、もうこんな時間。機材返す約束の時間が。先方をもうだいぶ待たせてますね。では今日はこの辺で。また次の試合でお会いしましょう。
ええ、気が向いたらね。さよなら、監督。
So he's obviously keeping her on because it's like her one thing bringing her back with something to Satoshi, right? Yeah. Autopsy. Whose? Is this the burned body or... The autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner. One entire body bound in restraints. Traces left behind from when the bodies seemed to have been bound indicated usage of specific restraining table rather than a rope or another common method. Oh, okay. Finger joints on either hand appear to have been bound especially tightly. Highly likely the table's either specially made or homemade given this information. 2. Oh my god! Both ears and nose severed with a sharp blade. Trace of the restraint and other things seems to suggest there was at least one more other than the one who'd severed these body parts holding down the victim's head. Possible that multiple blades were used, with one of them likely being scissors or shears. Yep. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. 1 long nail stuck in each joint of each finger on each hand. So each joint of each finger in each hand for a total of 30. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, 15, yep. The deceased's fingers were nailed to wooden planks 20 centimeters large. Extremely likely these planks were part of the restraining table. In addition, it's likely the table was originally designed for such a purpose. 4. Abdomen incised, I think? Intestines removed. The incision, incision incised, yeah. The incision in the abdomen is likely to have been a technique grounded in medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated that there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. Oh, great! He was alive, or she was alive. After this, the organs inside the incision were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of the process. 5. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a commercial pet collar, the victim was likely left in the Oji River's third drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, this is not the burned person. This is someone else. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it's highly possible that they would have at least needed 3 grown men to have disposed of the body. Oh, wow. Joishi-san. Here's a copy of the preliminary autopsy report of the slaughtered corpse in the Oji River. Chief Shigeharu seems to have, sees this as having a possible relation to the Sonozaki group. What are your thoughts, Oishi-san? That's interesting. Finally, East Round 3.
出ましたね、ロン。
Oh, he's playing, yeah. Oh, East, right, because in Mahjong, the wind direction changes each
チュ
round.
ンドラさん、マンガンです。
Oh, yeah, he's playing with the, you get different rules for different things. We don't play that one.
なんすかそれ。なんでドラが3つも入んすか。
バカモンが大石がテンパイしたの分かっててカンドラ増やしよってからに自業自得じゃぞ。
チュンさらしたらドラを上乗せするぐらいしかやることないじゃないですか。役配さらしたらドラそばは切っ
Yeah,
ちゃダメ
they're
ですよ。
speaking above my play level.
うん。
Oishi grinned meaningfully as his buddies, swearing, began breaking down the walls and reforming them.
時に大石さんどうですか。割れましたか。なんじゃい。ああ、例のドブ川
Oh, wait,
惨殺
no,
死体
is
の
this the
話か
one?
の。
Okay, why did I think she was burned?
何か手がかりはあったのか。
Is this a different one, or I don't know.
村はそっちで取ってくださいよ。
さすが。何者です仏。
間宮里奈、本名は律子。
Who the frick?
シボネフラワーロードにあるブルー
Oh,
マーメイドって
oh.
キャバクラに勤めてたみたいっす。
Shishibone Flower Road. Okay, she's a hostess.
やれやれ。そらやばい店じゃな。確か園崎家の若頭の店じゃろ。園崎あった。S 号関連か。
Oh, they try to not use the
難
word.
航しそうな山だな。
噂じゃあ仏さん、園崎の上納金に手をつけちゃったらしいっす。
Oh.
話じゃかなりシャレにならない規模らしいっす。
女が上納金に手を出したか。裏に男がいそうじゃのう。女の単独犯なんてそうそうないぞい。
どうせもう死んでますよ。死体がまだ出ないだけで。
そうそう、おいさん。女の同居人、生きてるみたいですよ。
Oh, who she's living
生
with.
きてる？じゃあこれから死ぬんでしょうね。害虫が害虫を駆除してくれるんだから。本当に素敵な自浄機能だと思いますよ。
It's kind of a horrible thing for someone who works in law to say that.
その紐なんですがね、北条鉄平なんですよ。
Teppei Hojo. So, is this another Hojo, or...
北条誰だい。
北条鉄平。去年ひなみ沢で起こった主婦撲殺
Wait,
事
what?
件の仏のご主人ですよ。
Wait, what?
事件の後姿を消したって聞いてましたけど。
Wait, did he not die? In the... Huh?
そうか。その女のところに転がり込んでたか。
The husband of the housewife who was beaten to... Wait, what?
ますますにその酒の匂いがプンプンだの。
Did they survive the river thing? Huh.
彼氏は今どこに？
女のアパートに同居してたんすがね。女が自分を捨てたと思ったみたいで、店やたまりのあちこちを探し回ってるらしいっす。
That's intriguing. Right, because... Wait. The husband and the wife who was in... Huh. I'll need to think back on my information with this, but otherwise, thank you guys for watching my part here of Higurashi, Tatarigoroshi. Next time, we'll be moving on to the 5th chapter, right? Because we finished the 4th chapter. I am happy, like I said, I wanted this to sort of start to get going, and yeah, it is. It definitely is, which is exciting. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time for some more. Ciao. Yo.